Hello and welcome to Backseat Blackout. Today we're sharing our appreciation to one of Britain's greatest theme parks, Alton Towers. With its you can't build over the trees, cut down trees, piss off the neighbours kind of approach, Alton Towers is probably the most unlikely park to break 7 world records. Maybe world's first, that's a given. At the end of the day, they need to think outside of the box. But for this hidden away in the rural countryside theme park with too many restrictions to count, 7 world records is pretty amazing. So with that in mind, you're watching Backseat Blackout, and this is 7 times Alton Towers broke our world record. I can see some of you crying already. Back before the wonderful Wicker Man conquered the backdrop of Mutiny Bay, something a little more sinister used to rule here. In the shape of a giant plastic duck, hidden away in the deep depths of the Flume. This soapy, perilous bathtub adventure was Alton Towers' signature water ride for many years, with its real ducks, rubber ducks, ridiculous behemoth ducks, and the music. Oh, the nostalgia hurts. Once sponsored by everyone's favourite bath time essential Imperial leather, I actually believe it should have been sponsored by this, because guys, it's about to get a whole lot sadder. The Flume was never always the bathtub spectacle that most of us remember. Back in 1981, Alton Towers opened up what would be one of the most popular attractions at the park, under the name Wild Water Flume. It was this log flume which broke the first world record we are discussing in this video. Upon opening, the Wild Water Flume was the world's longest log flume, lasting a lengthy 5 entire minutes and traversing a total of 2,907 feet throughout the layout. The flume was massive. You travelled across a lake, into the deep woods, through dark damp tunnels and plummet a total of 3 times. And even to today's standards, this would still be a beast of a log flume. Comment below if you missed this classic attraction, we sure do. The almighty Nemesis, famously known for being the world's most intense ride experience. And I'm not falling for that one. Sure, it's there on the sign as you enter the queue, but I've been on more intense rides than Nemesis, so I'm very disappointed that you're lying to me, Towers. Very disappointed. Maybe back in 1994, maybe. Yet it's an intense coaster with stacks of force and relentless moments, but world's most intense ride experience? Other than that, what other records could Nemesis have? It's hardly got the height, the speed, or the gimmicks to harness anything world-beating as such. It was arguably the world's best inverted coaster back in the day, but I can't class opinion as a world record. But after a rummage through Google search and many blushed faces later, I can officially say Nemesis may not be the world's most intense ride experience, but Nemesis was once the world's most naked ride experience. Back in August 2004, 32 bare bums hit the seats of Nemesis at Alton Towers, breaking the Guinness World Record at the time. Conspicuously enough, Towers actually took the crown from Fort Park, where this also happened on Nemesis Inferno earlier that same year. We all love a bit of Nemesis ass. Sorry, that was a terrible pun. Hello and welcome to Backside Crackout. Okay, I'll stop, but please feel free to add more crappy puns in the comments below. The next 2 records actually belong to a single secret weapon that goes by the name of Oblivion, the world's first vertical drop coaster. And I truly have a soft spot for Oblivion as it was my first taste of that 90-degree drop. Oh, hi, John.
Chris, airtime John, listen, stop what you're doing. It's not 90 degrees, mate. It's 87 degrees. They've been lying to us since 1998, the deceitful bastards.
Vertical or not, Oblivion actually had the world's steepest drop on a coaster at the time. 87 degrees was a big deal back in 1998. And I know we have many coasters with 90 plus degree drops these days, heck, even some that are like 120 degrees, but it was Oblivion that first took the dive into these territories. So I guess we can thank Oblivion in all its vertical, non-vertical glory. Wait, I'm not done with you yet. Now this one is an interesting one, so no coaster has officially claimed this as a world record, but there is an extremely likely chance that Oblivion at least once did. Oblivion possibly has the world's deepest underground tunnel on a roller coaster. Now of course I can't prove this as I have not seen every single coaster on the planet, so I'm leaving it up to you guys to find a deeper tunnel than Oblivion in the comments below. Oblivion spends approximately 115 foot of its drop underground. That's around the length of a Boeing 737-500 standing on its tail, which is insane. And all this was created by blasting the living daylights out of X Sector with TNT. Deep. Who loves a bit of science? Now, science was never my favourite lesson, but I did used to love physics. With all that coaster enthusiasm running through your veins, nothing beats wowing the class with your juicy knowledge on centrifugal G-forces. Am I right? Or maybe I'm alone, I don't know. Well, how about science at a theme park then, is that better? Back on the 28th of March 2014, Alton Towers broke the record for the largest practical science lesson in the world. A colossal 927 pupils assembled to Alton Towers to learn all about physics. This was my forte, mind the crappy science pun, but I would have been right in my element. And come on, a practical science lesson that involves riding roller coasters too, who wouldn't have loved that? And what better way to learn about physics than to coast through all 14 inversions on the Smiler. Love it or hate it, the Smiler is the world's first Gerstlauer infinity coaster that opened back in 2013. And despite its rocky beginnings, the Smiler was and still is one of the most favoured coasters in the UK. I mean, what's not to love? You've got inversions, airtime inversions, more inversions. The Smiler broke the record of most inversions of any coaster on the planet, and 6 years later it still remains unbeaten. This is an incredible feat in my eyes when you consider how small the footprint is, and given the restrictions Alton Towers has, a 14 inversion coaster sounds like nothing but a pipe dream. But they delivered, and I believe it's going to be quite some time before anyone takes this record off her. Now I'm feeling well and truly marmalised. I'm gonna get some rest and fall into oblivion. Now, where did I put that blanket? Ah, there it is. I knew this would come in handy someday. Back in 2015, my favourite drinking buddy Iggle Piggle unveiled the world's largest polar fleece blanket at Alton Towers. Created by DreamTex, this blanket is large enough to cover a total of 56 small-sized beds and weighs a hefty 70 kg. That's about as heavy as a keg of beer when me and Iggle are on the sesh. To get a sense of the scale, this blanket stretches over a total of 98.80 metres squared, which is massive. This record was done to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of the In the Night Garden magical boat ride. And also, did you know that this blanket is actually Iggle Piggle's favourite possession, especially after a heavy night on the piss with Maka Paka? Chin chin. And there you have it. Those were 7 times Alton Towers broke a world record. Comment below your favourites and any suggestions you have for future episodes. I just want to say a massive thank you to Towers Times, Towers Street, Cupcakes and Coasters and Airtime John for helping in this video. You're all stars. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, smash subscribe for more content like this, and give the bell a flick to stay all up to date. Top left is the latest video. Bottom left is a random one, and the button over on the right is an alternate universe where all your coaster dreams become a reality. You've been watching Backseat Blackout. Sure are a bit.